Alright, I'm about to show you what I think is the most OP cave spot, especially for like 20 and less people in your tribe. This is the Pro Cave right by Carno, and the design I have for it makes this bitch annoying as fuck to raid. Please hear me out, it's not the prettiest design, it doesn't look the coolest, but let me tell you, it fucking works. I know a lot of YouTubers like Outcasts, I think his name is, and others will like make these videos on how to build spots and they make it look cool, but it doesn't work with the current meta of raiding and defense and stuff. If you want to see what the current metas look like, look up base tours. Watch base tours of like official tribes, 6-man tribes. That's how you'll see the actual metas. People who post a lot of like base builds don't have the best designs when it comes to actual PvP. Alright, so this first part is the least important part. See, a lot of people spend a lot of time building this part, like putting gates and doing stuff like that. It's kind of pointless. I just put some turrets here, some turrets here to work as a warning system if you're online, and also if you're getting chased or something, you can run in here, right? But if you're offline, easy soak. If you're online, depending on how skilled you are, you can, defend this spot and push out and stuff, but it's a good tribe. They're going to push you back. Also, lots of spam. Some people don't spam because they're worried about, like, getting seen, exposing their spot. Everybody knows this spot exists. You're not hiding. Everybody knows it exists. So just spam a lot. So a lot of this, you're gonna see this is a common theme in the video, is just to add time to the raiding process and make it boring. Spam adds time. These little turrets here, they add like 10 minutes and stuff, but it still adds time. So as I come out the water, this is where shit will get weird. And like I said, I'm willing to debate. So fucking debate me in the comments if you disagree, but I'm gonna explain it. So hear me out. So, first part, put a lot of turrets like along these walls and stuff and on these ceilings to deal with bassie soaking. Because people swim bassies in here, shove their heads into the wall, into the ceiling, and start soaking, and they'll soak a lot by doing that. So test it on single player on the spots you want to put the turrets. I put them mostly on players only to try to shoot the bassie riders off. And it also just adds more time because now they have to soak or rocket rush that shit. Then I put tech fence supports all along here just to slow the climbing up process down. I would use tech if you can because they're more durable in the 6 times and stuff, but it's understandable if you don't. And also, if you have a fat offline timer, you can spam turtles all along this ledge, and now they have to kill turtles to get shit up. If you have a pretty active group of people, I maybe wouldn't do that because then it makes defending online a little more annoying because then you gotta move the turtles if you want to bring other dinos up and shit like that. So this is why this spot is the most OP. This right here is the only spot they can bring a big soaker up like a stego. This spot only. So in the Carno one and the Herb one, they both have the same design. So you have to bring the stego up right here. And even then it's annoying, you have to wiggle around and shit. So, what I do to deal with that is I put UDs and Callies here. And then let me explain. You might be like, well, they're going to fucking line of sight. One, no they won't, because you're going to slam turrets all on these ceilings and stuff. One, they'll shoot stego riders off if they do get up. 2, it deals with the line of sight. And then 3, it's just annoying. Now you have to soak, and if they're on players only, you have to fucking get up here and blow them. It adds a lot of time to the raiding process. I see a lot of tribes on ASA not abuse the fact that you can now do this with turrets. It's OP. Abuse it. Spam it. Right? Now to explain the UDs. Your only spot to come up is right here with the stego. And the other raiding methods is to rush with frogs, whether there's people on them or if they whistle them up with C4 Streptum. The UDs on turret mode will scream and scare the fuck out of the frogs. And they're not line of sighting like I explained. So then the frogs will go willy-nilly and all that shit, right? It deals with that. And also it can scare the stegos too, especially if they're struggling to get up. Let's say they're, bobbing here and stuff. They'll get scared and then they'll swim down and possibly even drown. And then same goes with the Callies, right? They're lined up with the one spot that they can come up. And they do knockback with their rocks. So you put those bitches on turret mode. As this turtle, stego, whatever, tries to come out the fucking water, it's gonna get knocked back by the Callies. That's annoying as fuck. Imagine every time you come out the water, you get pushed back. It's fucking annoying. And if they don't think you're worth the time After a little bit, they might give up. And then back to these dinos, to get past them, they're going to have to kill them, which also adds more time. So, you know, like if you're trying to get a soaker up, some guy's going to be trying to snipe this Cali and this one and the Uties. It just adds more time. Now they have to deal with these dinos. It adds a bunch of time. That's so important. People forget that adding time to your raiding process is so important. It also is boring. It's boring as fuck. Now to explain the main thing I might get some heat on is the wall being put back here. Like, what the fuck? It's behind the pillar. That makes no sense. You can't even have turrets in this middle part because the pillar blocks it. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm going to explain it. So, this is like the perfect range for when you come out this water. As soon as you come out, get on land, you're getting shot. So, if you move the wall up to here, it's an easier rush with frogs. They come flying out the water, boom, your wall's gone, right? If you put it up closer so that they can't swim up with frogs without getting shot, then they can sit down here and soak, and then that becomes easy, right? Or they just swim up a little bit and soak. With it being back there, it's a long-ass run with a frog, right? So you come out the water, you gotta run all the way back here to, you know, rush it with a frog. And there's all the ceiling turrets. And you're dealing with these, but let's say, you know, they kill all these, they soak these front turrets. You gotta rush that wall all the way back there. And that's where I put the brunt of your turrets, like probably 50 turrets back there if you can, on the ceilings, on the actual wall itself, stuff like that. And then with the stego, if it comes up right here, it's instantly getting pushed back down. So if they didn't kill these yet, you have the Uties screaming, you have the Callies fucking throwing rocks at it, you have the tech turrets hitting it as soon as the stego comes out the water. It's gonna get yeeted back into this fucking water, and it's gonna get very annoying very quickly trying to get a stego up. And then if you're online, what I recommend is like, yeah, bring a DPS dino up, but also bring up your own like stego or something and just smack them back into the water every time they try to come up. So then you just have this whole long ass process of trying to even get a dino on land, and that it's just so boring. That's what makes this OP, is that raiding it is so fucking boring. So unless they have beef with you, who's gonna spend 8 hours trying to get a fucking stego up here, especially if you have good ammo count? So that's why like putting it back here is OP as shit. And then I'm not saying don't scatter turrets elsewhere. Like scattering turrets everywhere is very important, but having like your main wall back here is annoying as shit. Now you'll see I didn't do the PvE side of things. Like I suck at building like storage and crafting stations and raising areas and shit like that. I just always do the defenses, and we've had a lot of success. This design was used on 6-man, and it works. It's my brother's design actually, so shout out to him. But this design's pretty fucking good, and it worked with less turrets. So we had like 10 turrets, and people were failing to online raid it and offline raid it because it's just annoying. Like they give up out of boredom. Not like, oh, we can't raid it because it's too hard. It's just, it's so boring. They go, okay, fuck this, and they leave. That's why I said if you have beef with somebody, it might get a little sketchy. But if you have beef with anyone in any spot, it's going to get sketchy because they're going to keep coming back, right? Well, anyways, I would put turrets back here, like 10 to 15 at most, just in case somebody gets back here. You know, they'll get lit the fuck up still. If people start getting behind your wall at that point, yeah, I hope you're porting shit out because it's probably over by that point. But I think it'd take a long-ass time to get to that point. And then for Jenny placement, I'd put your main Jenny like right around here, you know, behind this pillar. So if they do like soak these front fucking turrets, there's no way that they can get like a line of sight on anything, like if they grapple up or anything. It's not possible with the way it's set up. It's so fucking annoying. And if you're online, they're not fucking raiding you. If you have more than 3 brain cells, you will stop them from raiding you if you're online, right? Like this design with this spot is OP as shit. It's just a lot of people build this spot wrong. Like they'll slap up a wall right here and be like, oh, why the fuck I get raided? Well, because it's an easy ass frog rush. You gotta think about how people raid. You know, watch YouTube videos on raiding, build it in single player, and then test raiding it. That's how like this design was, you know, made, was just a lot of testing in single player. Like testing whether this does line of sight. It doesn't. Testing whether these do knockback. Yes, they do. Testing the wall placement. All that got tested. And now I'm showing it to you so you don't have to do as much testing. And then, lastly, if you can, I would put a second Jenny up high somewhere. I wouldn't put your main Jenny up high because there are some meshing methods where they can like get C4 on the ceiling. So that's why I wouldn't put all your turrets on the ceiling as well, because they might go around below each one. I'd, scatter them. Just make it annoying as fuck. So let's say you do run into a mesher, it gets annoying. I put some on the floor. That's why I put the main Jenny on the floor, because meshing up is a lot harder than meshing down through a cave. That's pretty much it. Like I said, if you want to debate this shit, I will debate it. It has been, used on actual official. It's tested. It works. It's, I think, a very good design. And if you build this right, you can be very hard to raid. And the game's fucking dead. There's like 12,000 people playing it daily. So if you go hide in a fucking pearl cave, you'd probably be pretty good, actually. Especially if it's boring as fuck to raid. Well, that's it.